Hello bears, this is my first impression on Guardian after playing it through the second week of Mythic Plus testing. I've been mostly playing this build, but after the Ursuk's Fury Remembered, aka UFR nerfs, I plan on trying this new build with Rage of the Sleeper.
Oh, there's a thing under me.
Holy, alright. Do it again. Okay, this is doable.
Do it again? Alright.
So what's new with Guardian Druid? To be honest, Guardian gameplay was barely changed, which is arguably the most disappointing thing in Dragonflight so far. Bears are still extremely powerful during Incarnation, but not as powerful as before. UFR has been nerfed from 70% to 30%, meaning Guardians won't be immortal during Incarn. Losing the tier set from Shadowlands and Venfyr's Ravenous Frenzy means that damage is also a lot lower during Incarn. This might seem unbearable, but here are some of the good parts. To give some context, the biggest problem Guardians had during Shadowlands was how much power got baked into Incarn. This meant Guardians did no damage and struggled to survive outside of the 3-minute window. Now, Guardians will be much more powerful outside of Incarn. The biggest change will be the Moonfire talents. In other words, Legion Bear is back. The combination of having Galactic Guardian, Twin Moons, Fury of Nature, Elun's Favored, and Circle of Life and Death gives us massive Moonfire damage. In fact, Moonfire becomes so strong that it'll do as much as 40 to 60% of our damage, depending on the scenario. The healing from Elun's Favored is also significant, giving us a major source of sustain, especially in AoE. Maul can now be spec'd to be stronger, but let's be real. Maul is the worst ability in the game, and even when spec'd into, it still does low damage with a high cost. Barkskin is a much stronger defensive now, with improved Barkskin, Verdant Heart, and reinforced fur. It goes from a 20% DR for 8 seconds on a 60-second cooldown to a 25% DR with 25% increased healing received for 12 seconds. It can now become a 40-second cooldown as well if you spec into Survival of the Fittest. The new tier set barely improves our damage, but does provide a good amount of extra healing. With all of this combined, Guardians basically have more sustained passive healing and a lot less front-loaded Incarn tankiness. On top of all of this, Incarn is more of a 2 to a 2.5 minute cooldown instead of a flat 3-minute cooldown. If spec'd into Rage of the Sleeper, that is also another nice defensive cooldown to fill in the weak gaps. If I were to poorly draw a graph with my bare hands, this is what Guardians will look like in dungeons relative to before. With this, we can kind of visualize how much more sustained Bear will be outside of the Incarn windows. Okay, check count. So we have 33 right now. Like 1% each. Wait, I gave a lot. What was that? Holy shit.
Bears are giga.
Well, yo, kill all the bears, man. Dude, bear is such a dead class that we're just killing bears.
Yeah, this is nice.
Now to be the bearer of bad news. Guardians have lost a lot of options. Second charge of Survival Instincts is basically lost because of how hard it is to spec into. Similarly, we will have to choose between Blood Frenzy and UFR because of how deep they are in the spec tree. If we go for UFR, our rage economy goes down a lot. Blood Frenzy usually makes up for about 30% of our total rage and M+. For utility, we lose Bash if we go for Incapacitating Roar. Hibernate and Remove Corruption become hard to obtain. So how exactly does Bear feel to play, and is it fun? For the most part, it will be the same as Shadowlands as I've said earlier. Pull large with Incarn, smaller outside of Incarn, and rotate between Bark, Survival Instincts, and Rage of the Sleeper if you spec into it. The only changes will be a lot more Moonfires and Mauling on single target if it's spec for. When grouping up mobs, getting Moonfire out will be a major priority. Moonfire also becomes a strong filler and will be very important to keep up on AoE. If you enjoy Shadowlands Bear, you will continue to love the smoothness and simplicity of Dragonflight Bear. On one hand, I'm a bit sad about it because it was unique for bears to have the power to pull the whole world, but on the other hand, it's still a thing to some degree, and bears can move away from this design. Right now on beta, Bear actually feels okay. Survivability hasn't been a big problem, and the main weak point is damage. Both single target and overall damage is far down there compared to the other tanks. To sum up my thoughts, I don't hate where Bear tank is. They've made great changes to improve the situation Shadowlands Bear had. I just hoped for more because of how great the other tanks have felt. But as I've said earlier, if you enjoy Bear right now in Shadowlands, Dragonflight will be a step up from before. There are a lot of positives to look forward to.
Okay, so go into work tomorrow and tell them to buff Guardian Druids.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's good news.
mission accomplished.
Alright, clip it and ship it. I believe Blizzard can still iterate over Bear anytime between now and the second patch of Dragonflight. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay strong, Bear Gang. There may be some copium going on, but I'd rather call it hopium. Okay, mode says do a bigger first pull. Wow, thank you. Wow, 2 Tiger's Lust? Okay, now this is a pull. See, this is why we play bear tank. I'm taking no damage. Holy fuck. And I got PI. Let's fucking go. Bear Roar is so good. Man, I miss Bear Roar. Bear Roar is my favorite utility. I used to not give a shit about this. And then I started playing tanks that just have literally 0 AoE stops. And now I love Bear Roar.